welcome back. Let's now bring you the latest from the ICC Cricket World Cup. Well, India have beat West Indies in the last league match in Chennai. It was a massive victory for India, winning by 80 runs. Well, Taven Smith's half-century did help the Windies chase India's score, but they slipped to our spinners. India folded for 268 runs. Let's now take a look at the highlights of the first innings.
We'll have a look at that. This is just short of...
First over, last ball. India lost the first wicket. The pacer Rampal, who was playing his first game of the World Cup, bowled a waistline ball to the master. The ball straightened outside off. Tendulkar stabbed at it by taking the bottom hand off the handle, but the ball popped up to the keeper. The umpire ruled not out, but Tendulkar walked.
But then Tendulkar decides, no, he got it, he nicked it, and he walks off.
Rampal struck again. Gautam Gambhir, who came to open the innings in the absence of Virender Sehwag, followed his partner quickly. Tried to hit down the track but was caught at the third man. The score was 51 runs. Yuvraj Singh joined Virat Kohli on the crease. Both of them upped the tempo, shared a partnership of 122 runs in 23.5 overs. Rampal struck for the third time in the 33rd over. Kohli got out at the individual score of 59 runs. The skipper Dhoni promoted himself, joined Yuvraj Singh onto the crease. India was cited comprehensively, the score of 173 runs. Here came the celebration time. Yuvraj Singh, the man in form for India at this World Cup, scored the 13th century of his career. Yuvraj was going great guns. Dhoni was playing a supportive role as well. And Bishu, playing the second match of the World Cup, struck for West Indies. The stumper was stumped. 43rd over began. The first ball by skipper Sammy. A short delivery. Yuvraj cashed in on that. Hit the first 6 of his innings. He reached to the individual score of 107 runs. But Raina failed to use the opportunity and got out at the score of 4.
Well caught. That's a terrific...
5 more overs to go. Pathan joined Yuvi at the crease. Both of them added 7 runs in the next 5 balls. In the last ball of the over, Yuvi tried to hit this on the up but did not come properly to the bat. Pollard took an easy catch, end of a fine knock from Yuvraj, and he got onto a ton after 35 innings. Pathan also followed quickly. It was the 47th over, 4th ball. Rampal's 4th wicket. A Yorker reversed in to the middle and offline. Yusuf went for the big swing, missed. The ball went on to hit the middle and off stump. The 48th over started. The score, 260 runs on the board. 3 more wickets to go. Harbhajan was the first to go. Russell took his first wicket of the match. Rampal got the wicket of Zahir in the 49th over, 5 for Rampal. Last to go was Munaf Patel, who scored 1 run off 2 balls. India failed to play 50 overs again and set the target of 269 runs for the Windies.
And India will play Australia in the quarter-finals next. Well, had Sachin not worked out, he could have possibly continued his quest with his 100th International 100. And to express what you think of the Walk of Fame and why Sachin doesn't fail to surprise us time and again, call us and share your comments with us. And we already have our first caller online. It's Mr. Rabinav calling in from Alwarpet. Well, it's sort of like a double delight for all of us here in Chennai. India, first of all, has won the match. At the same time, a lot of us are proud that Sachin's conduct of a gentleman like what's happening today. So what is your reaction to this?
I'm a great fan of Sachin Tendulkar and I expected a century from Sachin this match. So I felt sad when he walked out. It was also nice of him to walk off the field even though the umpire signaled not out. As an Indian, I'm proud of him.
Right, Abhinav. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And in fact, you sound like a small boy, but you stayed awake to watch the match, I'm sure. And thanks so much for calling us. And well, with that, we wrap this bulletin. But before we leave you, here is the visual, scene of how Saukarpet looked today, which of course is the master when it comes to celebrating Holi. We leave you with these visuals. Thanks so much for watching and good night.
Holi in the Saugarpet area is very famous. You have seen that all of the people from the different areas are coming to Saugarpet to celebrate Holi. So Mahashakti Hotel is the very main spot here. So all of them have gathered here. You can see the Holi. Celebrate Holi!
Go to every relative and we'll have a different kind of sweets, and we'll have, especially we used to have a bhang, which is all the gents will have. Even some ladies also will have. Bhang is specially taken on Holi, this thing.
Well, we've of course been getting a lot of callers, a lot of viewers wanting in to share what they really feel about Sachin's walkout today, and of course to congratulate the Indian team on the massive win today. Well, we have another caller online. It's Jacob calling in from Perambur. Well, Jacob, like we saw, apart from the Holi celebrations, I'm sure entire India is celebrating such a massive victory. How did you really feel when Sachin walked back to the pavilion today?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Jacob. Go on.
Good evening, madam. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Jacob. Good evening. How was your reaction when you watched it on television of Sachin being not given a not out and still?
See, Sachin is, of course, is a gentleman. But one thing, today's his action was not gentlemanly. Hello.
Yes,
but,
Mr. Jacob. So do you think Sachin's walk back
was not gentlemanly? He could have waited for the umpire's decision or the third umpire, or he could have even waited for his captain. But nothing happened. Anyway, the people, those who are the spectators, they were much worried about his 100 also. But he could have waited. What the action he has done is not gentlemanly. Even though he is a gentleman. I am 74 years old. I am a fan of Sachin.
Right, but, Mr. Jacob. It's after all gamemanship versus a gentleman here. Thanks so much for calling in all the way from Perambur for us. Well, like we said, India will next be facing Australia after this massive victory against the West Indies, and of course we'll have to wait and watch Sachin making that record on probably till Thursday for his 100th century. Well, we have another caller, a caller calling in from Maripakam. A very good evening. So we believe the entire stadium was absolutely quiet when Sachin made that decision to walk back to the pavilion. So what was your reaction when you saw him do that?
Madam, actually no, he's not only playing great for Sachin, madam. This kind of behavior of Sachin makes him huge dater, madam. He's not only a great batsman alone, but apart from that, he's a great human being, and he plays to his heart, madam. That's why we all believe that he's a very great batsman, madam.
Right, now this comes just a day after the Australian captain refused to walk out after yesterday's match. So do you think Sachin truly has lived up to putting the actual phrase of the gentleman's game back to cricket on the same line?
Absolutely, madam. So that's why we still speak about Sachin. It's not only speak about records, madam. Why we still talk about Sachin is that the greatness is doing, madam.
Do you think
comparable to any other batsman in the world, madam?
So in days like of sledging, something like this, do you think it's very hard to see a conduct like this?
Pardon, madam, I'm not able to hear you.
In days of sledging, do you think it's very hard to find a gentleman behavior like how Sachin made a decision today?
It is very difficult. Only Sachin can do it, madam. No other batsman in the world can do it, madam.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us. We have another caller online. It's Mr. Sendilnathan who's calling us. Well, thank you for talking to NDTV Hindu, Mr. Sendilnathan. So how was your reaction? It's like a double delight for us. India winning the match at the same time, all of us.
Madam, it will give a moral booster for our team, madam, when you face Australia at the quarterfinals.
So are you, in a sense, are you disappointed that we all have to still wait to watch Sachin make that record?
What, madam?
Sachin was about to make his century of centuries record today, his 100th international ODI.
He will make it in the quarterfinal, madam.
Right, that is what we all are hoping for and looking forward to. Thanks very much, Mr. Senthilnathan, for joining us. Well, like he said, Tendulkar's next chance to score his 100th century will come in Thursday's match, a quarter-final match at Ahmedabad. And remember, that will be against Australia. And Australia just had lost to Pakistan. And this is the equation that will be there. And in the quarterfinals, Australia will be meeting India after India's massive victory of 80 runs over the West Indies. India, in fact, today had set a target of 269 runs. And the West Indies too were surely on a steady chase, but slowly they slipped. And we also have another caller around line now. It's Mr. Ratnakumar who's calling us. Well, Ratnakumar, Sachin certainly was convinced that he was out, and he knew that he had to wait for another game to actually make that record. So how does this make you feel?
Actually, records doesn't matter for Sachin. He is a genuine person. Others follow Sachin, so he should be the role model. So he is a kind of, he is genuine. He is a perfect role model, to say.
Right, thank you very much, sir, for calling us. We also have another caller online. It's Mr. Sundarajan who's calling us. Well, Mr. Sundarajan, how do you react to Sachin's decision to walk out today, even after being given a not out?
Yeah, good evening. I'm a bit surprised. I'm so happy. He's really a gentleman.
So in some sense, are you a little disappointed as well that you could not watch Sachin Tendulkar make that massive record on the pitches of Chennai's grounds?
Yeah, really, so bad, but nothing not that bad. But he's a gentleman, he's a Pakka gentleman, he proved it. It has also happened when West Indies was in Pakistan. Shane Warne has also, he has done like that. During that, that match has held up, but umpire has given out. Courtney was told he is not out, and he is asked to play that match. It was really good. Like that, Tendulkar also done like that. They were so surprised and were so happy.
Right, sir. Thanks very much indeed for joining us and giving us your comments there. We'll, of course, all will be looking forward to the next big quarter-final match for India versus Australia there. Thanks so much for calling us and sharing all your comments with us. With that, we wrap this bulletin. Good night.